was a nice vacation. What in the... Jeremy?
My head's on fire!
Matthias, go put him out.
Father Abbot, not again.
You shouldn't
Scars is
you
back.
shouldn't have
Hey!
he caught on fire because he was playing in my coal ford. You freaking idiot.
I'm sorry, Father Abbot. I was just adjusting my Abbot. I mean...
And apparently Jeremy got into Ambrose Spike's stash, so...
I'm not as
what do you
stink
think?
as you drunk I am.
I lost the head count of the Dibbuns. I think there's supposed to be 25. I'm missing 3, so Woodland Search maybe? I don't know.
Oh, who? Okay, Adam, did you not lock the Wicker Gate?
Sorry.
Hey, you were the one that was supposed to be repairing it last time.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one. Yeah, folks, welcome back to Recorder on the Wall. I'm your Papa Abbot, Pete, and yes, I just introduced all of our crew. We're back at Bellmaker Book 2. And, you know, as Book 2 goes, this is actually one of the more interesting ones.
It is, I agree.
Yep. We've had some interesting ones where not much happens, where there's an insult contest. God, what else?
We've had them where it's like 50 pages.
Mm.
This book is definitely the most well balanced in terms of like length of each book so far.
Of the ones we've covered, yes.
Yeah.
And Redwall is Redwall is not under invasion for the first time.
Are you sure you haven't been invading Ambrose Spike's stash?
He's having a stroke.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna make coffee come out my nose. Oh.
Dude, don't get all choked up over it.
Okay, somebody get the healer. I broke the Abbot again.
Let's get Sister May. She always knows what healing item to use.
Was that
Nettle broth.
Warm nettle broth? Yeah.
That's no wrong sister. That was Sister what's her name from Pearls of Lucha.
Oh right.
Cicely, Sister Cicely.
Yep. Some warm nettle broth. Well, it does get people out of the infirmary pretty quickly.
It does.
Suddenly I'm feeling much better now. Strange how that works. Get me out of here.
That get up and go feeling. So yes, we are back at Redwall when we open this book. And in the kitchens. And Simeon is helping cook.
Somehow.
Raspberry.
Excuse me?
I'm
You want to challenge the blind people can cook thing?
No, I'm not. Nope, I'm not.
I'm staying out of this.
I was more surprised at his like Matt Murdock Daredevil powers of knowing exactly where the kids outside were and that they were trying to steal food.
Yes, that would be a useful power.
Yep.
And which Dibbuns do we think are the responsible ones? Because they don't tell us which ones they are.
Probably Mouse
The
Babe.
Mouse Babe that has been in 5 books.
Oh, there's only 12 hair leverets running around who are not even named.
So when you first said the responsible one, I was thinking like literally, which Dibbon is the responsible Dibbon? And I was like, wait, that's like a contradiction in terms. Responsible Dibbon.
Oh, when he said responsible, I was thinking, does he mean which ones are responsible for the most problems?
Yeah, I know you got. We did. I don't remember if you covered this, but not only did Tarquin and Rosie come back, they have 12 kids in a year.
Each month of the year.
Well, this goes into a thing
my
that I don't know
gosh.
we ever brought up before. Is like, so do they have litters like regular hares or rabbits?
Did they find litters in this cabbage patch?
Yeah.
There are a lot of orphans in the series, so...
Yes.
I feel like having 12 hares with actual living parents like helps balance out the orphan ratio in this one.
Oh God, yeah. Oh my God,
So
yeah.
that's where they went.
And yeah, but yes, Tarquin comes in and he's just like, okay, I'm the food taster here. So how are they going to get him? How are they going to get him to leave the Abbey when this is all done? Because even if Rosie comes back, yeah, let's be honest, she's going to come back.
I assume they'll need a wheelbarrow.
I mean, free daycare and all the food and drink he can eat.
Yes.
So there isn't much going on here. It's just other than Tarquin being Tarquin.
Well, yes.
Yes. And then they introduce, hey, there's 2 Dibbuns missing from the Wicker Gate. I totally totally repaired.
Just fill them up. Just fill them up with stone.
They mentioned that they think the lock should be put up higher. Like it's too easy for them to reach.
Yeah, but that'll take like a day. I'll do it tomorrow.
Well, that's when all the best projects are done. Tomorrow.
I feel like in the next book they should have had a scene where it's like, oh, thank goodness we put that lock up higher, and then the Dibbuns just get on each other's shoulders and unlock it.
Yep.
Or they try the whole, like, 3 Dibbuns on each other's shoulders in a trench coat gag.
Hello, fellow Abbey. No, not a trench coat. They're all wearing the habit.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, fellow Abbey dweller.
I know it's you.
And I'm just like thinking of like Muppet Man from the Muppets.
But yes, we have 2 Dibbuns who got out and decide to explore the woods. And I'm sorry, I know it's Fertile the Mole.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then what's the mouse kid's name?
Mouse Babe.
Oh, Mouse Babe doesn't have a name.
Because why not?
Ruby the Mole.
I mean, we have a lot of silly vermin names in this book, and documenting all of them was a lot of fun for me.
I can imagine.
Fun.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever made our episode notes things publicly available, and I probably should to the listeners, because you have no idea. They don't think you guys get to see how much work I put in, like documenting each character who is named.
Yes.
And I try to keep that accurate, as well as who dies, if we need this as a reference. But Lord, does that take time.
Nobody dies in Redwall. Oh, wait.
Well,
You're basically you're doing Snowfur's Encyclopedia 2.0. Are you competing with the Redwall wiki at this point?
Oh my god, I am.
Oh, no.
It was never my intention. Oh god!
Rivalry time.
But apparently, I guess I must be. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to document all of these. But we find out, yes, these 2 kids are camping in Redwall, in Mossflower Woods.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure nothing bad's going to happen to them.
They brought a blanket and no food.
Yep.
They planned
A
well.
stick and a piece of twine.
Yep.
They're MacGyver mouse.
So, oh no, the Mouse Babe does have a name. Oh, no, that's what he just calls himself, because he wants to be Martin the Warrior.
Yes.
And Fertile wants to be Mariel.
Can you blame
Which
her?
I didn't,
Which is kind of adorable.
but I didn't think Mariel was a mole. Just saying.
She can dream.
I think there is a good name for the Mouse Babe, though. With question
Overconfident.
about. Well, yes, but when the Dibbuns are questioned about who's missing, a squirrel holds up a paw and says, "Think it's the Mouse Babe and Fertile the Mole, sir." And it's like, I know "think" is a mispronunciation of "I think," but I propose "Fink" is actually the Mouse Babe's name.
New canon.
So ordered. Yep, think it is. But meanwhile, we get my 2 favorite vermin characters, almost thus far to this whole podcast. Slip and Blanket. I swear these guys would be a 3 Stooges minus 1 Stooge routine if they weren't as violent as they are.
Well, I think on the previous episode we determined they were like Pinky and the Brain.
Oh, that's right, you did.
Yep.
Yeah,
That
it
works.
still works. It
Yeah.
still works.
What are we gonna
once
do
they get
tonight?
to Redwall.
Trying to take over the Abbey.
I think the Dibbuns are extremely lucky to be found by this particular pair of sea rats, though, because Blaggett does say, "You could cut me in three. Yeah, baby."
Oh.
Katie, you broke up considerably there. Can you repeat
All
that?
sad. Which part?
The whole thing.
Part.
The entire thing. Okay. I'm just
About the
saying
part
that.
where I got the piece of fluff in my ear.
Oh, well, okay. Well, hopefully my terrible internet will last out. But so I was saying that it's lucky that they were found by this particular pair of sea rats because Blaggett seems to want to protect them.
Yeah, he does. Kind of we really haven't had a long discussion on the whole, which races are good and which races are bad, or even the few gray characters that we do get, but Blaggett's definitely one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
wondering
not
how he ever made it as a bad guy. And I have this theory that maybe when Rosie hit him, she knocked the badness out of him.
I don't know, because here he's even defying his captain, which he is probably unheard of with him.
This is true.
But yes, the two rats find them, and Slip's first reaction is like, "Do you have any food?" No.
I know the way they put it is like, "Oh, you mean like this and this and this?" Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That's exactly how a little kid would be, though.
Yes. We also get, I love Tarquin's wonderful tracking skills where he decides to give up and this random brother's like, well, maybe we should check a little bit further this way. He's like, nah, they're not in that direction. Let's go the other way. And they go in the exact opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Isn't Tarquin X Long Patrol?
Yes.
Yes. That isn't he? Because he sings the Long Patrol.
No, he wasn't. No.
I thought he washed out.
Rosie was Long Patrol, and Tarquin was not. He was a traveling minstrel, I believe it was.
Right, but he was at Silvamond at one point because he did sing the Long Patrol anthem.
And maybe he failed to get to the Long Patrol, and Ron Blade's like, go help out Redwall. I'm sure he'll be more useful over there.
Yeah, he sent him with a message like this hair does not get along well with other hairs.
He got busted out of Long Patrol school.
A washout.
Yep.
You're a disgrace to this patrol.
What is that?
I feel like he's more like that dude from Police Academy that just makes all the sound effects.
Nice.
I like that idea.
I want to point out something though, off Tarquin. The young brother that he talks to, it says that he's barely 4 seasons out of Dibbenhood, and this calls into question exactly how fast do adolescents age, or how wide is the definition of what a Dibbon actually is? Because I would think it would be somewhere between 1.5 and 6 human years old, just until they're old enough to start school proper. But with this definition, it's almost up to about 10 years because you'd want to join the order somewhere around 14.
Yeah, and I think this changes throughout the series because toward the end, I think it was just 1 season equals 1 year. But it definitely wasn't like that in these earlier books, like Silvamond. I think Mara was 5-ish seasons old, maybe 6 seasons old.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like a teenager. So, yeah, it's kind of ambiguous.
Yeah, the series isn't really well defined, and obviously some species live longer than others. Bella is still, kicking frack for how many books? So, but yeah, they don't. Jakes does himself. He describes seasons as their best unit of time, but we still don't know what that means in the way of, because real life mice don't. They're 2, maybe 3 years on the outset. So that's a good question. But back to those adorable Dibbuns leading Slip and Blaggett back to the Abbey.
Well, sort of. They're all kind of lost.
Mm-hmm.
And Melis is taking it well.
Poor Melis.
Yeah.
So,
So,
we get an idea of Simeon's faith in Saxtus as a leader, because at one point he just goes, Joseph would know what to do.
Yes.
Oh,
Wow, okay.
The dude was there for how long? And he's already been placed in such a serious position. They can't make a decision without him.
I don't know how to be a parent. Too many orphans.
Let's ask Joseph. Oh, wait, never mind. He actually, considering that he didn't raise Mariel very much.
Now, how long has Mariel actually been gone? I mean, it's a year later, but what time did she and Dandin leave Redwall?
Doesn't it say like 4 seasons ago they left?
It sounds like they left pretty quickly after Mariel of Redwall.
So they left, and then Malin was no longer a Dibbon.
Huh.
Because it's 4 seasons ago.
mm-hmm. I was seeing how that was all kind of coming together that way.
I do want to point out, however, our two Fink and his lovely mole friend, they outright call the two rats, well, vermin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, rats, of course the rats are vermin. I'm sitting here reading this and I'm wondering, okay, were these guys young enough? Were they old enough to remember, the war from a year ago? And if not, wow, Redwallers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this is something that I've always thought about.
I've been waiting for those names to pop up, like names from the last book, like Bag and Run.
Oh yeah, what happened to them?
Not seeing them.
Yeah.
Or like the ones with the kitchen knives and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Well, shoot. Yeah, where did they go?
Questions.
Oh, they're on another camping trip. They're fine. Would any of us really be surprised if that were the case?
Not particularly.
No.
But I get the impression that these Dibbons are super young, so I don't think they would have been born
Mm-hmm.
before, or like maybe born right as the war was ending.
No. I took it more as the, like, out of the mouths of babes sort of thing. Like, children say the darndest things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a badger is raising them, so, and you know how badgers think about vermin, so maybe that's
Yeah,
it as well.
because when the Redwall search party do find them, bring them back, Melis is not happy to have 2 rats underneath their roof.
She is
at
not.
all.
But actually, the search party doesn't find them. Oak Tom and Tree Rose find them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The last thing I had before we switch over to the B plot was that even Tarquin didn't know the mouse babe's name. He even refers to him as "What's his mouse?"
Yes, and like mole thingy or something. Like I don't think he knew her name either.
Well, I'll give him a little bit of a pass because he does have to remember the names of his 12 children, so...
Oh, good lord.
Remember?
What is this? Remember.
Yes.
He's going to give them all, like, name tags eventually.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Mm-hmm. But we do switch to the B plot before the lost ones are found.
Yes, we do.
Or is it the A plot?
And I mean, this
What
is
is a plot?
Mm-hmm.
so back in the A plot. The
Boat sinking.
actually the next thing we covered is Mariel and Dandin on the roof, but
Oh.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yep.
There's so many plots.
Yeah. They're in jail, and we have Mariel and Dandin as, like, the full of youthful energy, and we've got Meldrum as... Like here, let's think about this logically. We have the first logical hair.
Yes.
Yep.
Meldrum is like the anti-Fleet Scut.
He is. So on a scale from Basil to Fleet Scout, where would you put him?
Pretty close to Basil, actually.
Yeah, pretty close to Basil.
I mean, no one tops Basil. No one, but Meldrum is
Basil
actually...
is God.
He was the trendsetter. Meldrum is actually... He's tactically smart. He, I mean, he's still a hare. He still has the accent. He still prefers to sleep than to action, but he's also... even though Mariel and Dandin, who are no slouches when it comes to fighting a frickin' war, he's obviously has the most experience of anyone in the party.
Mariel and Dandin are really good on the just action and getting things done side, while Meldrum seems to be very good at the, all right, let's think about it. Let's stop and think about this for a second. Instead of bashing against the problem, let's find our way around it.
Although, contrary-wise, he's also very bad at coming up with this stuff on the fly if he hasn't thought about it or doesn't have experience to rely upon.
Yes.
Because we'll see later just how it's yeah, you got it done, but you really could have done that better.
So what you're telling me is he's Hannibal from the A-Team. And the two of you who either watched the movie from years ago or even the original 80 series, you're probably laughing at that.
I was just going to ask.
No.
I was going to ask which one of them is Mr. T.
I would vote the Butcher Bird.
Yeah, good one. Good suggestion.
Oh, that dude is crazy.
And it's not that birds aren't... I mean, there are exceptions to this, but birds always seem to be just a little off. Certainly Sir Harry the Muse is a lot more sane than most of the birds we're going to meet. But, what's his name? Shoot, I lost it.
Glockpod?
Glockpod.
Thank you. Glockpod is particularly manic.
He is quite unhinged.
Yeah.
So he's the Mr. T. Then we just need the Murdoch. Who's the crazy one?
Wait, maybe his...
Glockpod is the entire A-Team into one.
I'll love it when a book comes together. But yes, they meet a butcher bird named Glockpod who got somehow trapped in a roof cell as they escape their cell. Actually, pretty ingeniously.
Yeah. I do like where they're like, hey, are you going to help us if we let you out? And he goes, yeah, I'll just kill all the rats. They let him out. I killed everyone. Are you kidding? All right, we'll fight you. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
And if my thoughts on the audiobook sound-alikes is Glockpot kind of sounds a bit like Catman. Like season 1 Cartman, like the much deeper voiced Cartman.
Respect my authority.
Oh, Cartman. But yeah, I was going to say this guard has miraculous recovery powers because he has a door knocked down on him, and then he runs out from under it, and he's like, "Help! They've escaped!" And I'd be like, "Oh, my ribs!"
So talking isn't a free action?
Nope, apparently not.
And they also find Gale Squirrel King, who is somehow completely emaciated. Didn't they just throw him in there 2 days ago, or am I completely wrong with the timeline?
I mean, he might not have been treated or fed that well beforehand, but I don't know.
Yeah, just the way they describe it, it seems like when they described Martin in Mossflower after he had been in the prison for a whole season, whereas all of a sudden 3 days later, Gale is like, I'm starving. All right.
It's a squirrel metabolism.
Yeah.
It's a lot faster.
I guess also Martin is this hardened traveler who's used to going a little bit without food or drink, and Gale is this kind of pampered Squirrel King.
Right.
Well,
and I mean,
we'll see that again.
Yeah, I mean, maybe throughout how long were they imprisoned in their castle? Months?
If the fox pair left the north in the winter and made it southward at most a season later, yeah, it's probably been a couple of months over spring and into summer.
I mean, maybe he just felt sick and didn't feel like eating.
Mm.
I don't know. Or
true.
it's dramatic effect to just make him super emaciated.
Little column A, little column B.
I woke up this way. It's a plot contrivance.
Huh?
Sorry, that was my cell phone going off. If you heard that,
I was gonna say,
I heard the
what?
worst throw ever, and I'm like, oh.
that's my text sound effect.
Better
I-
than-
Well,
It's the full. That was the worst throw ever of all time, and not my fault. Someone put a wall in my way.
Yeah, and mine is the duck hunt where you actually shoot a duck and the dog hog holds it up, because if I did the laugh, people would murder me.
Mine used to actually be the good news, everyone.
Here on Record on the
talk
Wall,
about-
we talk about pop culture text tones. Moving on.
I should make mine Han Rosie's laugh. Everyone would want to murder me as well.
Talk about phoning it in.
Ha ha ha.
So it's fun. They get out of their cell. They should have just squished the prisoner, but the guard, but they let him go. And hey guys, you got people escaping.
Whoops.
Mhm.
And you notice how both of our main villains don't delegate; they actually take an active role in hunting down whatever escapees or whatever people they can. I guess they're very bored. So
They do it with a lot of screaming and yelling at each other, but yeah, they do it.
Though to be fair, I mean, most of their crew seems pretty stupid, so maybe Foxwolf just doesn't trust any of his underlings to do anything properly.
well, I mean, he doesn't
Why-
trust his own wife, so yeah.
Yeah, that
Should
was my
he?
thought on it.
Clearly not, because she's definitely she outright sees herself as the only sensible person around.
Yep.
Even has
What
a moment
is-
where she calls out men being stupid men.
Right enough.
Oh.
What is this trust? I don't
Mhm.
understand.
Yeah. How did this relationship come to be? Was
That's
this like
what
an
I asked
arranged
last
marriage?
time. It's like I hate you. I hate you too. Let's get married.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
make hating each other more convenient. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes. But they're both foxes are like, hey, let's capture these prisoners.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Finally, at our Joseph plot, because I'm not going to call it
The
a plot.
titular character of the book.
The B
Yeah.
plot, B for Bellmaker.
Yeah, I had skipped ahead in the
Ah.
notes here. So yeah, the ship is sinking, and then it starts to rain.
When it
Like, we
rains,
already
it
got
pours.
We already got water coming in from underneath. Now it's coming in from above.
Yep.
At least you can drink
Iceberg!
the rain.
No, it's not Titanic.
Not yet. Wait till Pearls of Lucha, then you have an iceberg.
Ah,
This
yes.
is true.
But Logolog and Rosie are bailing out the water as fast as they can, while Formel just sits on the deck kind of useless. I'm okay. I'm not okay.
Can't sleep.
Aww.
Sea will eat me. Can't sleep. Sea will eat me.
And they're
Again, I must
desperately
ask,
looking for
why is
land.
Formal there?
Because Martin says so. Shut up.
What was Martin thinking? Was Martin just like trying to mess with him or something?
Yeah,
Diddy
I'm still,
2.0.
I'm still the theory that Gonf is just basically showing up as Martin from the afterlife just to screw with people.
Or Martin had these names selected on his spreadsheet, and Gonf went in and like changed them all around, and Martin just hit send without looking at his spreadsheet.
Roof
And,
was supposed to be Oak Tom and
yep.
That would have been so much better.
Oh.
And
So they're looking for land. I think they spot it, and then they go rushing up to try and get everything going. And a shrew almost falls off, and this shrew gets named, so it must live for now.
well, it wasn't wearing a red shirt, so he's okay.
Yeah.
So.
His name is Fatch, and he has a new best friend.
Yep. Roof swings in for the rescue, and I really like this whole sequence on the Pearl Queen. Like, I feel this is one of the few books where we get just Jake's having fun with all the nautical terms and everything about the ship and all these little specifics about it. And it's really cool. It's very different from even the last book, which had a lot of pirate stuff. We didn't get a whole lot on the ships.
No, we didn't.
Right. Because usually the ships are the bad guys. I mean, not always, because there was Mossflower, but that was toward just the end of the book. This is more of a fleshed out ship journey.
And spoilers to the audience here. Jeremy and I had talked about this a long time ago, almost a year ago when we were looking ahead at the future. But long story short, I had looked into it, but I couldn't find a solid answer of how to get the rights to the Gilligan's Island theme. I intended to write a parody of it for this. I just can't because copyright, and I don't want to be sued into oblivion. My name is on everything.
Yes.
But meanwhile, whoever's overseeing this rolls all ones, and we have a total party kill because lightning strikes the ship. Yeah, they're dead. I'm sorry. Everybody is dead.
Look, I don't care what you say. I'm going to hold this giant metal object into this air, all right, at the top of the ship. Nothing can possibly go...
We're outright told Rosie and who else?
Dury.
They're thrown overboard with the mast of the ship. No
They
less.
just go flying. The lightning strikes the mast, it snaps off, and just... Whoosh! It goes rocketing off into space.
And you imagine Rosie's probably doing her laugh the entire time, like the Goofy scream.
She was actually strangely silent throughout this whole sequence. She doesn't have one line of dialogue or one laugh of dialogue.
Oh, I'm sure she. And they all mourn her. Oh, she's dead. Oh, come on. Nothing can kill her. She's Rosie.
Right. I mean, if she can survive being multiple times stabbed and shot by a bunch of sea rats, she can survive, a hard day at sea.
This is true. I mean,
And like I said, everybody should be dead because it's not just the Mast and Rosie and Dury that go. We're outright told there's an eerie blue light as everyone is walking around with their fur poofed out like it's a freaking they touched a Van de Graaff generator and all their hair sticking out. No, they're dead.
The more amazing thing is that somebody actually misses Rosie's laughter.
Oh God! Add insult to injury. The next morning, as they look for the shore, they're like, "Where is it?" All of a sudden, the ship lurches, and Log-a-Log gets catapulted off the bow of the ship.
Found it.
He's not having a good time lately. In the previous book, he got smacked senseless, and now he's getting shot over the bow of the ship.
Are we sure he doesn't have brain damage?
Oh God. And yeah, I feel like if these two, I mean, let's jump it. We all know what happens, but I feel like if these two were actually killed here, it would have been treated as a much bigger deal.
Yeah, because someone's gonna have to go home to tell Tarquin and 12 kids, Mom ain't coming home.
Yep.
Yeah. They do have that feeling like they're kind of having a service for them before they find out that they're alive, and they had what do we say to the kids when we get home? And
it's gonna be a lot quieter from now on.
No, it won't, because Tarquin will be making songs till the end day he dies.
He's gonna be singing dirges.
Wow, dark.
yeah, so they found land.
You guys, are you back?
Though?
Yeah, we're here.
I heard you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yay! Terrible internet strikes again.
So they have no food, no drink, and they're run aground on a mysterious island.
Yeah.
No,
I
they have
had.
food and drink.
Yeah, they have food. Not much.
Oh.
It's while they're hanging out on the shore waiting for the storm to go by. They didn't take any food with them.
Oh.
But as we find out in the next chapter, they're fully stocked on the ship.
Never mind.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So I had good news. The Pearl Queen is no longer sinking. Bad news is it is also no longer floating.
Yes.
Well, this isn't the worst
I do
island
like
for.
though that Fatch says that. Sorry. I like that Fatch says that he and Roof will be friends forever, and they like have this sweet little moment, and it makes the tough sea otter cry.
Aw, he does have a heart. No, seriously, he
does.
keeps a red heart in a jar in his quarters.
Well, back to the sea plot. We've got Sea Rats and the Mouse Babe, the new sitcom on at 8.
It's so cute.
Yeah, it is. But this is where I said or mentioned earlier. Hey, you're vermin. Wait, what?
Mhm. Mhm.
And yeah, we don't damage people's livers and kidney. That is not a thing that we do. I just like you damaged the poor captain's livers and kidney.
He'll grow him back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine them being like a little child and like waking up and seeing these two big ugly sea rat faces poking in, being like, "Hi, kids!"
Yes.
Like, I'm pretty sure most like horror stories start off this way.
Mhm.
But then, like we mentioned, Tree Rose and Oak Tom find him.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
it's the
Oak Tom, he doesn't outright kill him, so he's learning.
Yeah, I was surprised. But it is like the search party's just kind of out looking, and then Tree Rose just kind of drops in out of nowhere, and she's like, "Hey, you missing some kids?"
Yep.
I'll take you to them.
I'm getting
How
like a
did
real,
you know?
I'm getting like a real Batman and Batgirl vibe off of these two. It's like they pop in out of nowhere, help out, and then when they're like, "So, what do you guys want to?" Wait, where'd they go?
Yeah, I had.
in the woods.
They were just like, "Thanks," and it's like they just Batmaned out of there.
Yeah. Oak Tom shows up, is looking for the kids. Where are they?
Tree Rose, how'd you know that name?
That is my name, on. Oh,
Quick, to the Bat Cave. You mean that tree we hang out in? Yes.
To the bat tree.
To the Bat Tree. I'll
and
get
somewhere
my
on
Bat
Bat
Sea Rat
Mountain they're
repellent.
offended.
Get my Bat Sea Rat repellent. Oh, you mean your bow and arrow? Yes.
Hey, hun, we've got this summons from Bat Mount Pit that says we're stealing their stick.
Where are they? The
You
bats
forgot
are like,
to
we
echo.
were born in the darkness. You just adopted it.
Mhm. So Redwall needs an Oak Tom symbol
Yes.
that they could shine and.
Oh man.
But that doesn't last long because we're back to the jailbreak plot.
Yep.
They've
And-
run and hid. They had to go up. They had to ignore the scary movie laws, and they had to go up. There was no way down.
Yep. And we get like all of Foxwolf's forces are like, we don't want to mess with the butcher bird. And I love Silvamord is like, well, here's my like, why don't you just go in there? And Foxwolf looks at her and just goes, well, there's the butcher bird, my dear. What would you like to do about it?
And there is, I think this is where we start seeing some of the treachery plot, where Silvermore's kind of off to the side, like listening to her spies.
Mm-hmm.
I just had
Yes.
Silvermort treachery.
It's more likely than you think.
Yes.
It's a Bluebane, the most ratty of rats in this book.
Outright, well, we're outright told, hey, this Bluebane's also serves as her chambermaid also at times, but and
No,
she totally.
No,
That's
that's a
a
separate
different
character.
That's
Oh,
the
I'm
other
sorry.
one. It's
I'm
another-
mixing up my rats. There's too many in this book.
There are
Oh,
lots. of
Mhm. There's a group of like 4 different traders that she has, but Bluebane is the one who's also not trustworthy, even amongst the traders.
If you just
Yeah.
can't trust a trader, what does this world come into?
Vermin
'Cause
HR ain't gonna like this.
Yeah.
No.
He goes straight from talking to Silvermort to telling it right to Foxwolf.
Yep. And I like this scene because Bluebane, when he tells Silvamord, she like gives him a little reward of like some wine and stuff, and then he goes to Foxwolf, and he's just started like after Foxwolf tells him what to do, he's still standing there, and he goes, "Why are you still here?" And he goes, "Well, Lady Silvamord gave me reward." And then just Foxwolf gets like one of the most chilling, subtle moments where he just goes up to him and goes, "Life is the highest reward of all, my friend."
I did
Like,
give you a ward. You're still breathing.
Yeah. Like most double crossers would die, but I'm going to give you the gift of life. Cherish it. And he's like, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It made me think of Khan from the Wrath of Khan during that segment, and then he just like looks outside the castle. He's like, "Those squirrels, they task me. They task me, and I shall have them. I'll chase them round the towers of Floret, around the rivers of Southsward, and through perdition's flames until I have them."
And then you see his troops look around. They're like, "Yeah, we're gonna go join your wife because she seems a little more sane."
Yep, and Bluebane steps out of the puddle he was standing in.
Yep.
Oh, no kidding.
Is that the P plot?
Yes.
Oh, boo, boo, sir.
It's okay. I was surprised Jeremy didn't make this pun, but when you said back to the C plot, I was like, but we were just at the C plot. That was when they were in their ship. Jeremy has corrupted me.
He tends to do that.
What are you talking about?
Ha ha ha. I get it.
Hmm?
But yes, we had them going back in time. Ultimately, these guys, the hero characters, make it up to the roof, and they have some arrows, and then Urgan sends his own representative, and they're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also have roof tiles.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, roof tiles is basically what they. Basically, Urgan sends this. Sends this representative, and he basically gets off with the whole title. Hey, there's all his titles, and yeah, we totally won't kill you. Just come down from there, accept the bird. It totally has to die. And then he gets smacked.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Is this where they decide to send Glockpod down to look for help?
Yeah.
Yep.
Indeed.
Say, go find the otters.
Yeah. And they do, and he finds the otters and the moles, and I love the moment where, like, I got a good laugh out of this, where Bully is acting all tough and brandishing his oatcakes. It's like, we're warriors.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was interesting here at this moment, like they say Dury picks up his scones. It's like oatcakes. So is it scones or oatcakes? Which is it?
Scone cakes.
Maybe he's just picking up all the old dessert he can find to use as weapons.
Food fight!
You should get some of those otter rock cakes.
Oh yes.
Oh god.
But Silvermort also anticipated this plan, and she sent a patrol out to look for them. And then someone starts racking up stealth kills on them. It's pretty good.
Yes, if I were Silvermord, I would also be terrified. Like, you're yelling at a rat, and all of a sudden, oh, he's dead.
Yep. Which, I got a question out. Silvermord, what do you even do here? Like, what useful thing have you done since the beginning of this book outside of piss off Foxwolf?
Yeah, she motivates him to keep like trying to do better than her. So
that's not hard.
Well,
she doesn't really accomplish much in this book. Like, I'm sorry. Besides converting oxygen to carbon dioxide, what does she bring to the table that a chair wouldn't?
Sure as hell of a lot more than Bluefin ever did. So.
Well, yes.
This is true.
And I don't even blame Bluefin for that.
No, I don't either. Waste of a character.
It took me a second to remember who Bluefen was.
Exactly. You just made our point.
Yep.
She's notable because vermin couples are surprisingly rare in this series. Much less female bad guys. Boss ones, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, not only, yes, maybe she and her mate just fight all the time, but when it comes to lining up these villains, you tend to remember these two as a pair. But yeah, she isn't. I will agree with you, Jeremy, that she isn't doing anything. She is about as effective as her mate here, which is not much.
The question is, how then did they actually end up taking Castle Floret? Besides the obvious, walking in, taking advantage of hospitality, and then grabbing hostages.
I think when the otters left, they're like, well, no one can stand against us now.
Yeah, the otters left because the lead otter had a tantrum.
Yep.
And we also have that Foxwolf had caught on to like the whole treachery thing, and he sent the one that he was supposed to promote to a captain out to talk to our heroes, and he got killed too.
Yes,
he avoided the HR paperwork by having our heroes take out the traitor.
Yep.
Yeah, was it Psychant?
Sikant is the Silvamord's maid, and then her mate was a gray. Is it Greywart? Okay.
Yep.
And we don't even see those two interact, and I still believe they have more chemistry than her fox pair.
Then Silvamord gets she gets the pea plot scared out of her because she sees that all of a sudden, oh look, Rabbit and Muta are back, and they want a hug.
And they're
Badger.
And they're covered in like scars, and it says like the fur hadn't grown over their scars, so they're just like covered in scars. Yeah.
Yep.
Scary.
So metal.
Indeed.
And are we switching plots again?
Yeah, I think we're back to the Pearl Queen crew.
Yeah. Oh no, toads!
They're not cannibal ones, surprisingly.
No.
Yeah.
Now, amphibians are not treated well in this series. Ever.
Toads aren't too bad to start out with. They're friendly as long as you're entertaining them.
Yes.
Yes. And someone who comes back from the dead knows their language.
Because she's smart and figured it out.
Yes.
Zombie hare and hedgehog!
Yep.
There's a lot of they died, but no, they didn't in this book.
Yes.
No one dies. Oh, sorry, Greywart, you died.
Oh, no one important dies.
Oh. No, that's always in the last part of book 3, typically, with some exceptions.
This is true.
Yeah. But like the toads all show up, and then they bring over their leader on a giant hammock, and I couldn't help but get a Jabba the Hutt vibe from it.
Yes. And they apparently saved this toad's life, and so they're like revered now in the tribe, and he wants them to stay there forever.
Yep.
Didn't they save his life by accidentally crash landing on an adder's head?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes. Yep. That is what happened. And I've got to say, the two songs that Rosie sings in this book, the one about the song she made up for the plan to get away from the toads, and then her laughing song, are on very opposite ends of the octave scale. And this woman's vocal range is incredible. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, I had for the first song that like, wow, she sings better than Tarquin.
Yeah. And like super low, and then her laughing song was like ear-splittingly high. I was like, wow, she is very talented. Like, as someone I've had some vocal training, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I listened to the sound bites you sent over, and I thought it was going to blow the speaker on my phone out on that second one. Like,
I know. The laughing song is pretty intense.
Yeah.
So they do some fire tricks with the grog.
Yes, that stuff sounds dang.
Oh, and I do like the King Toad's name. Glogalog.
Logalog.
Glug glug.
Yes.
And our own shrew, Logalog, is basically told, don't ever say your name if you don't want to be killed for it.
Yes, and then she renames him to Glugabag.
Logalog's like, wait, what?
Didn't like that.
Well, if anybody deserves the name Glugabag, it's Tarquin. I mean, can you imagine him just trying to outdrink Ambrose Spike?
Yes.
Yeah, I do like Rosie's rhyme that is like she's telling Fatch to get back to the ship and kind of makes fun of Glogalog, and it just made me think of the nursery rhymes that Martin and company sang to the Squidgies and Martin the Warrior.
With the very soothing little tune. I should send you that soundbite too. It's pretty funny.
Less passive aggressive.
Yes.
Well, yeah, less passive aggressive. So.
Yeah, so I think it's Roof who gets the brilliant idea of like, hey, let's show Gluggalug how to do the fire trick. And let's just leave a lot of the barrels right there and it'll sort itself out.
Yes, and he'll set some toads on fire.
So like they just like leave, they leave the fire going, they show them the fire trick, and then they leave. And as they're running away, they run away, they hear a boom. And then they're being
Alcohol
chased,
plus fire is bad.
they're being chased by the angry burnt toads.
Yeah.
And it's
Just
even said that one of them
Burnt
cursed.
Toads. Angry Burnt Toads could be a metal band.
Just made me think of that scene of The Simpsons where Homer is like spraying like bottles upon bottles of lighter fluid into the barbecue and then lights it, and there's just like this column of flame shoots up into the sky.
Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't the booth. They were just lighting their barbecue pit with way too much fuel.
Just a little bit.
And I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure there's no toads harmed at all.
At least we're not on fire. Oh, wait. Never mind.
Oh yeah, they're absolutely fine. Just left a little groggy.
Basically, they repair what damage. They also managed to repair the Pro Queen, and yep, they're sailing again. Hooray!
Yep.
And does it switch back over to Redwall for a bit?
Yep.
Yes. And
Yep.
is this where the two sea rats are telling a very, very bad lie about where they came from and their ship, the
Yep.
Muddy Swan or the Dirty Duck or the Dirty Mud or whatever they say?
Yeah. And Blaggett screws up their covers by like, it's like, Slip's like, I'm a cook. He's like, yes, you are, Captain.
Yeah. And he's like, would you stop calling me Captain? Okay, Captain.
I mean, granted, Slip also goofs up. He's like, oh, he's a carpenter. Yeah, that's right. He's totally a carpenter.
So it's kind of an opposite Jack Sparrow. Instead of calling himself Captain Jack Sparrow, he's like, nope, not Captain. Shut up. I don't know what you're talking about.
I am Chef Jack Sparrow.
We're gonna find out he should have picked a better name. I mean, a better cover than Cook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they decide like, hey, we gotta take these guys home because the Dibbuns could have seriously been hurt if not for them. So we at least owe them a meal and a chance. That's
Mellis, put the knife down. Mellis, put the knife down.
I mean,
And the table.
and the table.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Simeon, I know you can't see you doing it.
I'm kind of with Mellis, but like Blaggett's pretty harmless. But personally, I'd give Slip the Ungatron special.
Yes.
Oh.
And it's cool because the woman who plays Mellis is pretty fantastic at being intimidating. She's like, and my name is not Striped Dog, it's Mellis. Is that clear? And he's like, yep. Of course, he's not intimidated at all because he's really dumb, but
And so like it's I guess later that night, Slip is like, "Hey, they must have treasure here. Like, why would they have this nice place?" It's like they always think there's treasure.
Why?
Oh, yeah.
What gives them a thought that there would be treasure in a giant in this giant abbey? That we already know that what little metalworking they do isn't much, and they literally have to use their own cooking fires for it. And no one seems to be wearing anything that's outright like treasure-ish. So
Could it be just the general lore of Redwall, like the legend? Like it was this great old fantastic building with all these magic things in it.
Or maybe it's just the fact that, hey, it's a big building. This has to be something that was really expensive. Therefore, they have money. They have to have treasure, because if I was here, I would have treasure. So obviously, they're just like me.
Yes, and I think we've already discussed that the economy in this Redwall world is kind of questionable. It's like, okay, you have lots of treasure. What do you do with it?
I mean, that's as silly as a treasure room in Salamandastron that's just behind a giant boulder.
Yes.
Yeah, that would never happen.
No, of course not.
Yeah, and then
Nope.
especially with them discussing this at night and Slip coming up with a plan really made me think of Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah, it really hit that theory home that they're Pinky and the Brain.
Nar.
And it's like they kind of slip out and sneak around for a bit, and then like they almost get caught, so they have to run back to their rooms.
And at some point this figure in a big cloak is around them. Martin's bored again, isn't he?
Oh, I was gonna say it's Tom as Batman.
Nah. It's Simeon doing that spooky ghost walk thing when he was retrieving Martin's sword.
Martin wants scones.
And it's like it seems that Redwall has like a night maid service, because they get back to their rooms. It's like, our beds are made. Your bed wasn't made when you left, right?
I've been raiding for how many years on the sea, and you think I make my bed? Well, of course I do. I mean, what am I, a savage? But yeah, and they're totally freaked out. I'm sure this totally won't come back to us in the third book of this.
Nope.
Never.
Oh, I do have a question though. Redwall doesn't have. Apparently, they leave a fire going, but there's no one in the kitchens, and I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure a medieval settlement that big would have people working overnight, if nothing else but wall guards. But if you leave a fire going in the kitchens unattended,
Yeah.
not a good idea.
No. It was the night cooks going to fetch water from the pond.
Probably.
Smokey the Badger. Only you can prevent Redwall fires.
Yes, they finally get back to their bed. Their nice made beds. So.
Dun dun dun.
It was probably Simeon. He was bored.
We go back to Southsward, where maybe I read this wrong way, but did Foxwolf make a pillow fort?
They were saying that, like, I think the trader guy, Bluebane, had gone to tell him more about the treachery plots, and like he found him in his room, and he's like on this pile of pillows. Yeah, it could be a pillow fort.
Yeah, I just pictured it as like Bluebane walks in and he's like, "Where are you?" And all of a sudden, like, just Foxwolf's head pops out of all these pillows, and he goes, "No girls allowed."
I guess gross.
No, I wasn't even thinking that. It's like little kids, you know. Anyway.
Well, that explains why he has such a bad relationship with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Ew, girls are gross. Get out of my room.
I'm hanging out my fort and cosplaying as a wolf.
And there's Silvamond like, oh my god, why did I marry him?
Yes.
I have married a child. Wonderful.
Like Glockpod is back with the with the otters, and he flies up to say, "Hey, I brought the otters." And like they're trying to think of, like, how can we get out of here?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a long way down. If only I had a rope.
I do like. I can just picture the contempt in Glockpod's voice when they actually come up with a plan. He goes, "Listen to this silly idea."
Yes.
It's like they do find. It's like we wouldn't need a rope the whole way down, just long enough so we can swing over this way.
And I think this is the part where Glogpod is like, "Are you afraid, Meldrum?" And Meldrum's like, yes, but I'm gonna do it anyway."
Yeah, they've kind of had this like insulting motivational tactic between them, like where every time like they're about to like when something needs to be done, instead of just saying like, "Hey, get up here," they're like, he insults him instead to get him to come up there. And
because insulting the murderous psycho bird is always a good idea.
Always.
Yeah. Slow clap.
Well, I mean, it worked well enough for Matthias and Warbeak. I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh, that bird is pissed.
It comes to like the thing at this point there, like where Glockpod is trying to fly back up with this rope for them, and he can't do it. He fails a few times, and then Meldrum like insults him. It's like, "You couldn't possibly carry that up there, you stupid featherbag."
Yep. And I
like,
mean, it works, but then somebody's in a little bit of a murderous rage.
Yeah. I had Glockpod is mad at Mel. It's like, "Screw you, Mel, I'm going home."
But we finally get our vermin couple are like, "Hey, we should probably stop working against each other."
Though they still snipe at each other because Foxwolf goes like, "Why don't you go down to the valley and catch them there?" And she goes, No, I got a better idea. He goes, "Well, why don't you want to go down there?" Oh, just no reason.
There's definitely not two zombies down there or anything. Nope.
I don't want to be in the mode again. Shut up.
Yeah, so they've heard about the plan for the escape to swing to the battlements. So it's like, well, we'll just meet them on the battlements.
Yep. And then Mariel Tarzans it up and just swings in and kicks Foxwolf in the head.
Yes, which I think is a little bit of foreshadowing, because doesn't it say like the wolf fangs kind of pierce his head a little bit and it hurts?
Yep.
It hit she totally gives him a head splitter.
Yep. That might not come back later, but it might.
I mean, if he were smart, he'd just take those off after this incident and just just wear them around his neck as part of a very stylish necklace. But hey, what do I know?
Yeah, but Mariel kind of jumps over them and has to run right out of there.
Yep. Which must be very hard because, she was really badly hurt when they were on their way to the castle, and then she hasn't had any food or water, or anything. So it must be really hard to just like go on this sprint.
She's running, and I have it that like she runs right into a rat and they fall down the stairs, John McClane style. Now she has an axe. Ho, ho, ho.
Well, actually, what follows is kind of similar to Die Hard, where she's sneaking around in the castle in the areas that the guys can't get to.
Yeah, I was hoping that it would go into like vents from there, but it kind of goes to secret passages, so close enough.
Yeah. Mariel's like,
never asked for this.
Foxwolf.
That while she's escaping, she meets a new friend, a mole who speaks in proverbs and rhymes.
And yes.
So
and
after
ridiculously unnecessarily long words.
Yes. So after Egbert saves our progress, she shows them a secret passage.
What did you call him?
Mei Ling.
It's a Metal Gear Solid reference.
Oh, okay.
In the first game, there's a character named Mei Ling, and every time she'll record your save file, and then she'll tell you like a random proverb.
Ah. Gotcha.
I like how Mariel was like, "Who are you, and why don't you talk like other moles?" I was like, "Oh, that's a little bit racist."
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I guess I'm not helping you anymore.
Yeah.
Bye now. Yeah, but Egbert's pretty cool. Like he has these secret passages, and he like just seeked the life of a scholar. And his mission right now is just saving the ancient tomes that the rats would rather burn for firewood.
Yes, they're Fahrenheit 451ing it.
Yep. I love Egbert though. He's a great character. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, he says basically, I've been here for a while. Not even the Squirrel King and Squirrel Queen knew I was here. And it's like, that's actually kind of awesome when you stop and think about it. He's doing an all stealth, no kill run perfectly.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'd like it if some weirdo was hanging around in my house and I didn't know it.
This is true.
Well, you wouldn't know, so it didn't matter.
Really?
It is kind of weird, but
because
he has the most noble of intentions. He's like, I just want to read.
Mm-hmm. And so the mole says, like, well, or Egbert says, well, if you're gonna want to help your friends escape, maybe a distraction would help them escape. But I can't help you. I'm not a fighter. But I know some people who might help you.
Or squeeze you to death, whatever their mood dictates.
Yeah.
Zombies!
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, back at the Pearl Queen.
Yes.
Dead and
Yes, that was my
Dun,
thought
dun,
too. Roof wakes up and hears the Jaws music.
Yep. I do like that scene too, because he wakes up Finbar and he's like, you know that song you were singing about sharks last night? Oh, bless your heart, matey. Yes. Would you like me to teach you the words? Actually, I think there's one outside.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
Huh. So there is. Well, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
We should probably be going, shouldn't we?
Yep. And they're like, all right, everyone, be very quiet. We're gonna make our way through this. And then like Roof is like sneaking away. It's like, Roof, where are you going? I'm gonna go gag Rosie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then they actually like she ends up laughing, but then they cut to her later and they actually said they gagged her with a towel.
And I mean, to her credit, she doesn't actually try to take it out. She's like, okay, yep, I accept that I have a fatal flaw, and that is my very loud laugh.
Yep.
My bad, chaps.
Yeah.
So the
For
shark.
what it's
Go ahead.
for what it's worth, I mean, the shark is not behaving very shark-like at all. It's like dramatic shark behavior. It's like most sharks don't really care about boats. The only reason they circle is because it's like, I sense something's here that it could be food, but it's like, in this shark's case, it's like, is it actually a pirate Flitch-eye submarine that looks like a shark?
Down Periscope Redwall edition.
I like how the shark is described as about as big as the Pearl Queen.
Yeah, that I mean, that's kind of brings up several questions of scale. That the series likes to be fluid about this, where it's
Yes.
where depending on how big some creatures are versus others. Yeah, well, the animated series had to have hard rules on this because animation models aren't cheap. This kind of begs in the question: the shark is as long as the boat you're on.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That'd be terrifying.
A little bit, yes.
But there's this like whole bit there where Gale Deep is able to try and like juke and dodge it. He's trying to predict where it's going to be and like dodge out of the way. It's pretty
And
cool.
then, Dury flies overboard, and I just noticed this in my notes, and I decided not to fix it. I think in the previous book I mentioned that Dury was kind of like the less interesting version of Dinny. I accidentally called him Dinny in my notes.
Whoops.
But we do get a weird moment of Joseph like, oh shoot, I need to throw something out for Dury to catch so he can get pulled back in. Formal throw.
Yeah.
Grabs
Alright.
the nearest thing to hand, which was formal.
Yep. Formal's like, why?
And that was his purpose. We were asking earlier, like, what is he doing here? This was why he was here.
To the picture, Joseph looking to the side, sees Formal, and then imagines him as a hook instead and just grabs him.
I resent this.
It's sad that the most useful thing Formal has done so far is act as like a throwing line.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
And then the shark charges them and gets stuck in between the ships. Gets kind of stuck in the ship, and they have to fight it back. Bit like in Jaws, where like it's right on there, and they fight at it, and they have to stab at it with a spear even too. And they're able to push it off, and that's when they see another shark.
Blood. Delicious.
Yeah, and like Finbar is like, yes, we're saved. And everyone's like, why? Now there's two of them.
Oh no, they eat each other.
Yeah, that's what
It's a thing.
They eat each other.
And yeah, we don't have a rudder anymore, so have fun with that.
Boat is broken again.
I do
Yes.
like I like the scene after this where they're saying like, okay, we need to keep an eye out for land, and we get a nice little quiet moment with Formal and Rosie, and she actually is saying like, what am I doing out here leaving my family behind? And I'm like, I like to see her thinking of that. I kind of wish it had come before 251 pages into the book, but it's still nice to see, to see her thinking about it.
She says she misses Tarquin.
That's also the first time we've heard that.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm sure she misses her kids.
Yeah. She's like, all 11 of them. There's 12. All 12.
Yes.
Now, something interesting to note, with the Pearl Queen's rudder just broken off completely, they're like, Finbar says something to the effect like, yeah, we're better just hope and pray that we hit land soon. And it's like, thinking to myself, well, I know that their mast got snapped off, but don't they have like the front sails? Couldn't they use those to do some very limited maneuvering?
Well,
You'd think, but
well, it sounds so. He does say, well, it sounds like they did replace the mast, or they put the mast back on, but still damaged. But he does mention like, if all else fails, we can use like the oars to try to steer a little bit.
Mm.
They do spot land. They find their way in, and it just turns out to be a ship junkyard. Lucky them.
Yeah.
hey, yeah, okay, we can find parts. Hooray!
Discount ship warehouse. Yay. And you see, what's his name? What's that dormouse's name? Bobo come up. He's like, I'm the salesman.
I'm crazy Bobo. I got ships all over. I got big ships. I got little ships. I got a ship with your name on it.
Yes, we're looking for the aisle with rudders. Do you have any spare rudders?
I got rudders over here. I got rudders coming out my ears.
How's your credit, though? I don't take none of that Bitcoin. But no, the island is inhabited. It's just a really sad story.
Yeah. Well, first there was a good thing. Like Rosie's like, "Oh, I'm gonna cook for everyone. That's what I can do." And I was like, "Oh no, she's cooking," because I remembered her cooking in the last book.
Yes.
But apparently, between books, she learned how to cook because everyone loved what she made.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, she does have a family now, and we have established that Tarquin is kind of useless. So, I mean, I think she had to learn to cook to survive.
She has to take care of her 13 kids.
Yes, pretty much.
Oh, yeah, that's not inaccurate.
Yeah, so they're all enjoying their meal, and like they're singing, and then they're interrupted by some strange noises. And they were interrupted by, you guessed it, more orphans.
I was gonna say that. You stole my line. But yeah.
Orphan Emporium.
But it's
Yes.
even worse because they're actually double orphans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a sad story here.
Yeah.
I kind of like though that they are very small, but they're different species, but they still consider themselves siblings, and I kind of like that.
Yeah. They're adorable.
I love figs.
Little fig.
Yes.
We have, let's see. And I'm not there yet.
Fancy, Wincy, and Figs.
Yep.
Yes. We have a squirrel. We have a tiny little otter kid.
And a
Who's the
mouse.
third? And a mouse.
Yes, a little mouse maid.
Yep.
Yep.
And I
Kind of
like the
reminds
little
Joseph
moment.
of Mariel.
Yep, that's yeah. I like where he like takes her up on his knee and he's like, "I have a daughter like you, though she's fully grown now." I'm just like, it made me picture of like what a prequel story would have been of like little Mariel.
Why does she like jump ropes so much? I don't know.
So we get their sad story of being marooned.
And the
And
one
lost.
adult they're marooned with apparently had brain damage. No joke this time. This is outright said as much. Something in the crash damaged the kid. Damaged the one adult they have. This Burham. I say it right. I assume I did.
I think so. Yep.
And they
Uh-oh.
basically.
Am I here?
Yep.
You're there again. Yep.
Oh,
We
okay. I was,
may have lost you for a bit.
I was saying you did have it right, but my dog actually hit the mute button, so apparently she did not want me to be heard. Or I don't know. Brat.
You're late.
Anyway.
You're late in feeding her. So.
I already fed her. She's just being a brat.
So.
But yes, I kind of enjoy the fact that this hedgehog is a female, but they call her their father anyway.
And we get a funny comment from Rosie where they're like, "Don't worry, you can come with us." And she's like, "Well, I am a mother, and you'll have plenty of fathers and brothers. You probably should have brought some more sisters."
Yes.
The book ends here with basically the crew of the Pro Queen agreeing to take these guys off the island because they're not going to leave them there. Of course not.
And guess where they are from?
Yeah, it was a bit Southsward. It's like we're headed to Southsward. It's like that's where we're from. The Foxwoods killed our parents.
Awkward. Yeah. But
just everyone on the ship is like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that pretty much ends book 2.
That's book 2.
It's entertaining. The prison escape plot took a lot longer than I remember. Honestly, I didn't realize this was going to be all the book 2. But
Yeah.
that works.
There's a lot of stuff happening, and I think he handles all of his storylines pretty well in this one. Some of them, I think they get away from him a little bit in other books, but I think in this one, he handles it pretty well.
Oh, definitely agreed.
Yeah, everything's going at a good pace. Like, it doesn't feel like, and like kind of near the end of Mariel of Redwall, all of a sudden and they're back. You know, there's definitely good pacing and character moments throughout this book.
I mean, it's not the first time we've had an 11th hour introduced characters, but yeah, the orphans do come out of like, "Oh, hi. Yeah, okay, we can take you."
Yep.
I like this. So what's next?
Well, that depends on how much we want to spoil the audience of what we're about to do.
They know what we're doing.
I know. If you were listening last year, yeah, we will not be doing book 3 next. It is April, and that means we are going to celebrate the fans and look at your fan fiction. And Jeremy will bash his head against his desk again. Please don't.
And I can spoil all the Martin the Warrior fan fiction I
You
want.
can, because we can actually say that Rose is dead. Oh.
Wow.
Made me sad now.
But yes, yeah, we're gonna take a break for some fan fiction, then we'll wrap up Bellmaker. And just another spoilers, we might be having another Redwall podcast show on. We're talking with them right now, and looks like it's their. We might be seeing some digs, some portobello, or some celandine. Clementine. Why did I say celandine? Brain hurts. We shall see. I'm really looking. No, it won't be their characters. It'll be the actors behind them. But yeah, we're gonna have to talk to them about their show because it's awesome and you should be listening to it.
It is awesome, and I agree. You totally should.
Ditto.
Even if they did think of a better title. Sorry. No, I like ours better. So. But yes, we will. Next time we will be doing our fanfiction special, and yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Jeremy, get yourself that padded desk.
Huh?
Yes.
Get yourself a padded desk.
I'll. You know what? The Bellmaker book is pretty large, so I'll just put it down, and it's pretty comfy. So I can just hit my head against that.
Or make a pillow for it, like the Foxwolf.
There we go.
And should you want your particular fanfiction to be on the show, please contact us. We'd love to hear from you. Ultimately, this is about celebrating the general community. We're not out just to be mean-spirited and, say, oh, haha, look at this fanfiction. No, that's not our goal here. But
no, that was our goal when we were doing MSTs a few years ago.
Yes, it was. But our goal, what we will read about on show is generally fics to people who are out for, whether it's tongue-in-cheek or serious, that's fine. What we will not do is ultra-violent, or at least more violent than the main series. We will not do romance fics who are just out to, because shippers just want to put people together. You know who you are. And we, generally speaking, we're not going to do anything that... While I'm fully behind looking at fics that take a look at, an alternate point of view within the series, we will not look at fics that try to make Redwall super grimdark or anything like that.
What about crossover stories?
Yeah, I suppose we can. Yeah.
Yes, case-by-case basis.
Yeah, it's a case-by-case basis. But we encourage you to contact us because we'd love to read about your fan fictions. So, Jeremy, where can they contact us at? I always love him doing that.
You can find us at recorderonthewall.com. We are on iTunes and Google Play Podcast. We are also on the Eulelia subreddit, I think. We are also on the official Redwall forums. I believe Tamo is working on changing up where we're placed on there, so that should be kind of neat. And you can also find us on Twitter at ROTWpod. We also have an email address for you to use, rotwpod@gmail.com.
Hooray.
So, I'm looking forward to that. I'm Pete.
I'm Jeremy.
I'm Katie.
I'm Adam.
And
I'm
Scars had to
Matthias.
duck out, but sorry. Sorry I interrupted. Say again.
I'm Matthias, and I'm rejected. Ugh.
No, don't run away. No, come back.
He's a poor little orphan.
Oh, that's cruel.
You're listening to Orphan on the Wall. I mean, Recorder on the Wall.